love it, you hate it, everybody knows it. Today, we'll explore the transformation of football clubs from their humble beginnings to global powerhouses. Football, once a local pastime, now has become a multi-billion-dollar industry where success on and off the pitch are essential for survival. This journey not only reflects the evolution of a sport, but also the evolution of a sophisticated business enterprise. Football clubs have deep roots that go back to the early 20th century. Back then, they were just community hubs existing for the love of the game. But with the soaring popularity of the game rising, their potential as a commercial enterprise also grew. What started off as an entertainment industry now is a business that needs and strives for in multiple ways to generate revenue, adapt to challenges, and try to stay relevant in moments where it's hard, especially with the ongoing dynamics of football. Uh, there's many ways that football clubs generate revenue. One of the way is through match day revenue. This can be through hospitality, fans filling in the stadiums and buying tickets. This can also be from parking spaces. This has been the cornerstone of football club finances for years. But, however, as the industry grows, so did the broadcasting rights. They became a game changer. Right now, leagues like the Premier League have lucrative deals that allow fans from all over the world to watch the games and see what is happening in their club. This has allowed and increased the fan bases of each club. This has increased the income and the brand image that the club has. But sponsorships also play a key role. There's iconic sponsorships, with, for example, Emirates, Etihad, Nike, that allowed clubs to become marketing platforms. Branding not only comes from jerseys or stadiums, but this also now goes on online platforms like Instagram and seeing videos so that fans can see what is happening in their club. Merchandising plays a key role in football clubs' generation of revenue. They need to be able, they sell replica shirts, they sell branded goods so that people can buy and quite literally wear their loyalty on the sleeves. Now, transfer of players, we all know it, and it's one of the most popular ways that clubs generate revenue. They have two distinct strategies that they do it through. They do it through nurturing youth talents. This allows them to then sell them at high profits. But there's also a different strategy, buying high-profile players to then have immediate gratification and immediate success on the pitch. Football clubs. This shows that football clubs have to be able to balance the success that they have on the pitch, but also be financially stable. For comparison, for example, there is the amount of revenue generated by the Premier League in 2024 was comparable to the amount of revenue generated by the British agricultural sector. Now, as every industry, there's moments of struggle, there's moments of hardships where, in this case, clubs have to adapt to the challenges they are faced with. They have to be able to navigate through the moments that don't allow them to generate as much revenue, or they have issues with competitiveness on the field. One of those crucial moments was the COVID-19 pandemic that we all went through. The leagues closed in early 2020s. This has caused a loss of £1 billion in the British Premier League. This has caused bigger clubs were able to stay afloat and succeed and still be able to stay relevant with diverse income streams. Yet smaller clubs that were reliant on matchday revenues struggled. They had to incorporate different things like renegotiating contracts, introducing wage gaps, or even selling key players to avoid bankruptcy. For example, Schalke 04, an old German club, they had to incorporate wage gaps so that they stay relevant in the league and that they still stay afloat. This shows that resilience is about making tough decisions even in the football industry. Now, Let's take a closer look at three specific clubs: Real Madrid, Manchester City, and Red Bull Salzburg. They have all adapted to the changes that are happening in the ongoing world of football. First of all, Real Madrid, a club with lots of tradition and and a member-owned structure, is a perfect example of how heritage and financial discipline is able to create a business that creates, in 2023, it created 1 billion euros of revenue. This has been done from multiple things, through merchandising, match day revenue, but also through broadcasting rights. There's three things that they also succeeded in. They were able to nurture young talents and then sell them. They were able to buy high profile players, and they were able to be financially stable, which then attracted fan bases from all over the world. Then you have Manchester City, a club that is a perfect example of commercial maximization. They are owned by a City Football Group's conglomerate that is leading them towards the next steps in their history. They are quite a new club, and in the past seasons they were able to win multiple Premier League seasons, but also the treble, which shows that success on the pitch also brings a lot of revenue. But they also invested in, for example, the Etihad campus. Yet they also have struggled. They have faced criticisms for their financial practices and their international investments. Now, finally, Red Bull Salzburg, a club that is smaller than the other ones, but they have adapted to that. They focus on youth development and then transfer of those players for high profits. In the 2022-23 season, they were able to generate 187 million. They were backed by the Red Bull GmbH that they are owned by. They were backed by it, and this also allowed them to generate this revenue, as they had backing from sponsors, but also they were able to market themselves globally. They are a perfect example of how a smaller club can also adapt in this competitive environment. Now, in conclusion, those three clubs are examples of how different identities in this football sector to be able to adapt to then have income and have revenue. Real Madrid with its long tradition of financial stability, Manchester City with its commercial maximization and investments into infrastructure, and then Red Bull, a smaller club, yet still succeeding with focus on youth development. Now, this shows those are the perfect examples of how the dynamics of the ever-changing world of footballs are changing. Thank you.